first off, congratulations on the show, guys.
Thank you.
I've seen the first episode, and it's pretty impressive. Lots of things, lots of things to talk about. Boring question first, but I just wanted to ask you where the concept came from and what it was about this particular topic and telling it in this way that kind of appealed to you to want to tell it.
Yeah, my grandmother, Sarah Weil, was a Holocaust survivor, and growing up, she would tell my brothers and me her stories. And at such a young age, they felt like the stuff of comic books and superheroes. It was really the only way that I could try and understand the depths and the horrors of what she was telling. And growing up, that's how I began to see the world of great good and great evil, but a world where hope was possible. And so I think as I got older, I struggled with that idea of birthright and legacy and responsibility. How would I continue her story? How would I try and shed light on hidden truths and hidden crimes and get justice for her and so many others, millions of others, victims and survivors who never got that justice against their Nazi perpetrators. And so Hunters became that show. It became a love letter to my grandmother. It became a quest to don that vigilante cape and go after these millions of Nazis who never were brought to justice. And it also became an exploration of my birthright and legacy and responsibility to tell the truths of the Holocaust and the truths of my grandmother's story.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those shows that, as you say, kind of through the lens, I guess, of superhero movies and all that kind of stuff, that you can tell these kind of stories that young audiences just don't know too much about the Holocaust and don't know too much about what actually went on. A lot of the people that were alive are slowly, obviously, not with us anymore.
Yes.
So it's a great platform to tell it through that lens, but to give everyone an access that then you can tell them about the history.
It's so well put, and Jerrika and I were just talking about this.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's also not just giving them an access to the story, but also like really shading in pieces of it. That because I think as a whole, young and old, people are aware that the Holocaust happened, but this is giving like human texture to these atrocities. And I think that's that's an essential part of understanding history.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about your character because she's kind of put in the middle of this
she is.
strange craziness that's going on. I just wondered what it was about her that appealed to you when you first got the script, and what she kind of represents and what you felt you could bring to
Sure.
her.
I mean, I think some of the elements that I clicked into right away with Millie, in terms of targeting them on the page and like immediately empathizing with them. She's a woman who has a strong moral code. She wants her actions in the world to matter. She wants the world to make sense, and you can see that in the two institutions she's placed her faith in: the Catholic Church and the FBI. And somebody who believes so wholly in these overarching institutions would likely end up seeing the world in a very black and white way, which she does. And so these were elements that were directly on the page that I was like, I can identify and empathize with that person, and I'm interested in engaging with that so I can, mess it up.
And I guess the great thing about TV as well is not only do you have a great platform for telling these stories that maybe you wouldn't have done 10, 15 years ago, but you can attract so much great talent to it. Obviously, Al Pacino, but the whole cast, the plethora of amazing talent. You must be delighted with who you got to work with and who you got to
I'm seeing it.
put on
stop
screen,
it.
She's very
he got
honest.
some amazing people on this, didn't he?
It's really, honestly, and we became this amazing family and this amazing kind of troupe of collaborators. But it is, and I think there's such excitement about the long-form nature to be able to tell stories on TV or streaming, as Amazon is, and yet have that same high production quality, get fantastic world-class actors and filmmakers to want to come on. And Amazon is really responsible for that in so many ways. They allowed us to push the envelope with the show. They were behind us 100%, and they gave us all the resources and all the support that we could have asked for. So it was really special.
Yeah. And if you do get to do a season 2, is there a name? Is there someone? Obviously, I guess people would say, "Oh, you've got to get Robert De Niro now, surely for season 2." But
come on, we already got Al.
Joe
What kind of
Pesci,
budget are we
Harvey
working
Keitel,
with?
the whole cast of The Irishman.
We have all of them together.
Scorsese's doing the pilot. Yeah.
Are you hopeful that if you go and do a second one, that you get to expand the story, but also you could maybe bring some new energy to it and everything else, or is it not got that? You're just waiting to see what happens.
Oh my gosh! If Amazon, if we're lucky enough to get a second season,
that's an Amazon question.
We love Friends, so the more
pressure on.
more new energy and great actors. There's so many stories to tell, and I think Jerrika and I are very, very excited to see where this goes. So we want to tell as many stories in Hunters as we can.
Yeah.
So
I think you should play the De Niro card. I'm sure we'll put in a word, right? That would be amazing.
Please put in a good word for us.
Joe Pesci at the end. Guys, it's an absolute pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely to see you. Thank you so much.
Great to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey, you